Every day you get up, you may be faced with some challenges. You may be faced with some hardship. Hell, getting up may have been the challenge. This is not something you go through by yourself. This is not something that you don't know about. It's the reality. But every day you get up. And I'm asking you to get up one more time. I'm asking you to get up and stand up for yourself. I'm asking you to fight. I'm asking you to give yourself a chance. Your full potential has never been fully realized. It's not to anyone's fault, but it's because sometimes opportunity don't present themselves. Well, I'm giving you a chance to present that opportunity. I'm giving you a chance to get up and get it done. If you're thinking of harming yourself, if you're thinking of harming somebody else, don't. Dial 3 simple numbers, 988. It don't take much. Don't cost you anything. You don't even got to tell them your name. You simply just got to talk. And do it until you are prepared to take the next step and get full help. Whether you know it or not, you matter. We care about you. You are important to us. So before you make a decision that you can't live with, make one that we can all live with and stay. Because tomorrow needs you. I need you. Your mother needs you. Your father needs you. Your brother needs you. Your sister, your best friend, your dog, your cat. We need you. So make the call. 988. Very simple.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Pride Nation, what's going on, brothers and sisters? Welcome back to another Field Review podcast show where we're going to talk a little bit of Lions news, a little bit of draft, a little bit of free agency. What I planned on doing was doing like one day free agency, one day draft, one day free agency, one day draft until we can get into it. But there's a lot of news going on, so I decided to put it all in there, seeing how I haven't been able to finesse myself out of mandation. I'm here today to catch up on a lot of news that we need to discuss and, just talk about a little Detroit Lions football, man. That's all we're really trying to do. We ain't trying to do nothing special. We ain't trying to reinvent the wheel. But if you're in here with me, thank you. Please put something in the chat. I don't care what it is. If it's a middle finger, great. I just want to make sure I shout you out for being here and rocking with me. And hopefully if you're at work, I'm giving you something, a little bit of entertainment that can get you through your work day, because they definitely not talking about us in the way that I think we should be talked about. And it's a little frustrating. So, let's start off with my man Looney Tune in the building. My man Lions Rumble is in the building. Dante Alexander is in the building. He says, what up, Playboy? What up, dude? My man Will K is in the building. Mars Landon said, what's good, my guy? I got a new ray gun. Yes, sir. We got my man 1991, Max Stagg in the building. We got Micah Holt in the building. Steven Westbrook is in the building. Motown Football is in there with us right now. We got my man, I think I'm supposed to say Curt Romero. I hope I said that right. I think that's an L, but I think it's like to, be a little different, but I'm with it. He's in the building. D-Map Zoon is in the building with us. Our Pick'em League champion, Mr. Big T, is in the building. My man's TA from Raw Podcast. What up, though, Luke? What's going on, brother? We got, let me see, who else we got in the building? I don't want to miss nobody, man. Sky Guy is in the building. And I did get it right. Curt Romero. Hey, I'm working it out. I got somebody's name and didn't botch it. We got to start off with the Lions news because I have said this too many times and too many times before have I said it. I'll start off with the good stuff. Obviously, it's a lot of talk about Calvin Johnson being back in the fold with the Lions and crediting Denser with that happening. Shout out to Sheila for hiring people who know how to have conversations. So, in all honesty, I really didn't too much care about it, but if it makes everybody else happy in this fandom, then it's good by me, and I just want people to be happy. And as far as I'm concerned, players need to understand that, yeah, you can alienate yourself from a team, but when people go out and the only jersey they can buy is a Calvin Johnson Lions jersey, yeah, you're not selling that jersey without the Lions name on there. So I get it, but I totally understand. Oh, wait, I got some more people that showed up in the building with me. My man Anthony from Roar Alliance UK is in there. Says, Luke, my better looking brother, hope you're well. Now you know damn well you the nice looking one of us. Come on, stop playing. Luke not botching the name is legendary. Hey, every now and then I get it right. Giovanni Lyons, the second is in the building. What's going on? One funky Lion fan is in the building. Lion fan Express is in the building. If y'all don't know, he has a YouTube channel. I've posted videos before, and I'm trying to get people to show love and support. I think he does a very good job. Get right to the point, gets his point across, and boom. And it's in a short package in a lot of cases. So make sure y'all show some love, man. And if you got a chance, Lions fan Express, and you can post your channel in the chat so people can figure out how to get you. It says, thank you for coming through. I was bored as hell at work. Appreciate it. No problem. My man Shade is in the building. Says, no controversial takes today, Luke. I got to get this dinner started. I'm not trying to be controversial. I just try to just tell you what I see. We also have my man Matthew Dennis in the building. What's going on? He says, yo. So, yeah, again, as I said, I was talking about the Calvin Johnson situation. He's back in the fold. He feels good about it. It's good for him, good for the Lions, good for the Lions fans. I'm all for it. I already know there's going to be a lot of people, and I've already seen a few already do this, try to put a connection between Calvin Johnson coming in the fold and he can teach Jameson Williams. And stop it. He's not a coach, people. He's just been able to say, hey, I'm a Lion. I'm happy to be a Lion and all this other stuff. We can stop the coaching talk, okay? Well, he's coached before, Luke. I know. Stop it, okay? Stop it. That's all I'm saying. And the reality of it is that's great. The bigger news that ticked me off was Pro Football Focus. I don't know if y'all had a chance to see this. And if you did, God bless you, because I wonder if your reaction was similar to mine. Pro Football Focus. I have been saying that they some shit for the longest. And that they are not somebody that I respect. They're just not, okay. I tried, you know what I mean? I tried. I'm just gonna show you it. Let me just show you what they come up with. So I actually saw the real article, but I guess it's because it's behind a paywall and I'm not paying for this shit. Somebody allowed me to see the article in its entirety, so shout out to them who sent it to me. But then I found this is kind of like something that. But Pro Football Focus proposed that the Lions make a bold trade for the Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins. I'm gonna let that sink in for a moment because y'all swear by these fucking people. Y'all swear by them, and I'm confused because Pro Football Focus has lost its mind. They have 100% lost their mind. If you did not think that this was something to talk about, let's hear what Pro Football Focus came up with to explain how this trade would happen. Hear me and hear me good. It says, here the Lions send the number 18 overall pick, the same pick that the Philadelphia Eagles traded to the Tennessee Titans for A.J. Brown during last year's draft, along with a future fourth rounder for Higgins. This is what writer Brad Spielberger wrote. Higgins can be the new big body receiver in the Lions offense, filling the void left by Hockenson and potential free agent DJ Chark Jr. Last but certainly not least, the Lions will still have the number 6 overall pick from Los Angeles Rams in this year's draft. I dare y'all to make sense of this BS. I dare somebody to come on here and try to make sense of this BS. While you're trying to formulate your thoughts for this BS, let me just go ahead and give a shout out to Man Hour, who is sponsoring this video, and also has made a concerted effort to help my cause against suicide prevention, and has created this Stay Tomorrow Needs You shirt, which comes in a variety of beautiful colors. It's only $19.99, and a portion of the money that you spend here actually goes towards the National Association for Suicide Prevention, where it helps pay for things like therapy or hospitalizations and family costs and other different things that they support. So when you purchase one of these shirts, you are really helping out somebody who may not have the money to get help, who has tried to commit suicide or thought about suicide. And that, again, that's Man Hour. I wanted to do that because I wanted people to understand that the Stay Tomorrow Needs You is very important to me as a person who, I guess you could say I was a survivor of someone who has done it, whose best friend has done is committed suicide. I can tell you that staying because Tomorrow Needs You is very important. So just want to put that out there. Now, I gave you this moment to segue into this, okay? This is the dumbest stuff I've ever heard, and I'm tired of Pro Football Focus because it makes no sense. Why would you go out your way to spend the 18th overall pick for T freaking Higgins? Like, I'm not being funny. Why can't you just re-sign Chalk? Or did it ever occur to them that we don't need a receiver? I mean, it's not like you don't have Reynolds. It's not like you don't have Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's not like you didn't trade up 20 spots to take a receiver 12th overall last year. You did none of these things. It's not like you don't have a Khalif Raymond. It's not like you don't still have Quintez Cephas. Even if you want to dump Quintez Cephas, on what planet would it make sense to trade for T. Higgins? If Joe Burrow don't want him, why do you? But the most insulting part of it is the writer of this, Mr. Brad Spielberger, whose name I'm probably botching, he thought he was so clever by saying it's the 18th pick. A.J. Brown and T. Higgins are not on the same level. A.J. Brown was way better. In fact, I thought the Titans had lost their damn mind trading him. This is not somebody you trade the 18th pick for. If you're trading the 18th pick, get somebody who can help you on defense. Get somebody who can truly have an impact and help you on defense. Don't come with this BS. Just sit. And then wait, because I don't want to skip this part. Not only did he say trade the 18th pick, give up a 4th pick for T. Higgins? Okay, hold on, people. Let me do this. I do not understand how we come to these conclusions, right? I don't. I find it funny, kind of odd, a whole lot of strange that people come up and write these articles trying to act as if though they follow our team like us. They don't. They're not fans of this team. They never will be. They just needed to write something. And guess what? The best thing that they could write, was a wild trade to get people talking. And even if you wanted to argue that, oh God, yeah, this would be a great thing. It doesn't make sense. It just don't. And the reality is it won't make sense because why would you do this? Why would you do this? What will prompt you to give up a 1st at 18th overall and a 4th for T. Higgins? They're not trying. I'm trying to get y'all to understand that there's a lot of times where the media does not necessarily care about a team as much as they would like for that team to just simply do something that benefits their own team that they personally like. That's usually what the case is. And that's the problem for me. You're asking me to trade something that don't make sense. So let me show you what I'm saying. This is T. Higgins' stats. And I know a lot of y'all like to talk stats. I'm not even on the whole stat thing, but I just want to try to get it as big as possible. Just to show you in comparables, right? Here's a guy who has played 46 games, started 42, right? Got 327 targets. He caught 215 of them. Got 3,028 yards, 14.1 yards per reception, 19 touchdowns. Right? Everybody's excited. Now, let me give you Exhibit B. This is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Played in 33 games, started 25, 265 targets, 196 passes caught, 2,073, 10.6 yard per reception, 11 touchdowns. Well, T. Higgins' numbers is better until you realize that all of this is done in 2 seasons. 2 seasons. And these numbers are strongly close to a guy who got 3 seasons worth of work. Well, Luke, you're comparing apples to oranges. Fair enough. Let's go back to the first point. This bullshit right here. You still going to tell me that a guy whose numbers are close to a guy should be given up for the 18th overall pick and a 4th? He's worth 2 picks because he's got, a few more yards in 3 seasons? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. You don't even got to trade for him. You have so many other options. You can literally just draft another freaking receiver. And he don't have to come in at 18 and still be good. Antonio Brown's a 5th round pick. And the list goes on to other people in the similar situation. But Pro Football Focus knows how to get you going. He knows how to bubble you up and make you feel good. And if you did not think that this article was ridiculous, I'm just telling you, stop. You go slap yourself because this is ridiculous. You just they're asking you to just give up capital for nothing. It makes no sense. There is no logic behind it. There is no rhyme or reason to it. They just needed something to talk about. And if that wasn't enough insult to injury, they even had the audacity to try to hype it up and talk about how Ben Johnson just loved the play of this person and this person can do that. I don't care what Ben Johnson say. He ain't saying give up the 18th overall pick and a future 4th for T. Higgins. If you're going to do that, go get DeAndre Hopkins. The Cardinals are trying to move him. Go get DeAndre Hopkins. If it's that big of a deal that you need, but he's not a big body, go. You need a big body? Yeah, I need a big body. That's what you really need? Because I can tell you a few other teams who want to get rid of big receivers, but I don't know if I'm willing to give up an 18th overall pick. Not when my defense is hot garbage. The defense so bad, I want to send them to New York for some damn cheesecake. And pray to God they don't come back. Like, I hope they get to New York and get mugged so they can't come back. It makes my job easier. You have to understand that there's a certain agenda going out with our media. Our media is trying their best to do certain things. I'm noticing other little trends with our media where they're posting information for players just because the name is big. And my viewpoint is, even if the name is big, who cares? Brad Holmes ain't signing people for names. He's signing them to low-end prove-it deals. He's signing them to he's signing people who people have given up on, who he can still get something out of. Like, he's playing a different game. But we cannot, this is ridiculous. Pro Football Focus has lost its damn mind. It doesn't make sense. Now, to switch gears a notch, because I'm going to show you what does make sense as we get into some draft talk. Because this BS right here needs to be scalded. Some people should be attacking them. Oh, wait, I got to cover one more headline. I forgot this one. How could I forget this one? Micah Parsons. Here's my take on it. He's right. Oh, Luke, come on, man. He ain't right. He ain't right. Even Dan McCarthy even said it, man. Things are different. Times have changed. No, he's right because he needs to be. He's right because the Lions need to believe that he's right. You as a fan base need to believe that he's right. Yeah, you don't want to come here good. We don't want you here anyway. We want people who want to be here. And the idea that he's wrong doesn't mean anything. I want the Lions to understand you went 9-8. You had a very good hard push towards the end and finished off strong. And your respect levels is still down. Take that shit personal. Take it to heart. Get upset. Get frustrated. I want, all this talk about who don't want to come here. If Jamal Williams listening, take a hometown discount, so we can go out there and smack them in the face. Because we play them. We can go out there and smack them in the face, and then we can talk about it. But you don't get respect because you go 9-8. You don't get respect because you got some people that's starting to ball. You don't get respect because people like what you're doing over there. You get respect when you take it. You get it when you earned it. And the only way you can earn it is by taking it. And if people like Micah Parsons is still salty because he was told that he was going to be the pick and they went and about-faced on his ass, so be it. Don't care. But he's right. Nobody wants to come here. And that's cool. As long as our team and our coaches and everybody in the media take it personal. Take it real personal. When you look up and discover that, hey, we tried to get this player and that player and they didn't want to come here, cool. You don't gotta like us. We don't like you. You don't gotta think we're the best. We're gonna show you. And the reality is Parsons can say stuff like that because he has been deemed in his mind, oh, I can do this. See, you got to remember, the Lions played the Cowboys this past season, and we lost. We absolutely lost a game that we should not have lost. Okay? No way we should have lost that game. So for him, he don't have no respect for you. That's good. That's a good thing. There's no reason to be upset about it. There's no reason to act like, oh, you sort of know what you're talking about because you're not from here. Things are different. Boo-hoo. Cry me a river. And then take his head and stick it underneath the water and drown him in it. You will have an opportunity to prove yourself when you play them again. To this time, when you play them, you get an opportunity to go on the road, or is that a home game? That might even be a home game now that I think about it. That might. No, that's got to be a home game. It's got to be. So you get a chance for them to go play them again. Remember, Micah Parsons said, you ain't nobody want to go to. Cool. Well, let's make him rethink that. So to the people who are frustrated and all agitated and irritated because he said it, don't care. Don't care. We need to show a better stance when we play them. We need to have our offensive line treat him like he's a easy hit at a frat party. We need to have our defense hit their offense in the face and let him sit on the sideline and watch and discuss as we run the score up on him. As he has to chase player at the player down the field, left to right. You need to be understanding. Take the shit personal. That's what we need to do. That's all I'm saying. Shout out to two guys on the podcast. Super Saiyan Lion in the building. Perry Balls in the building. All is well, brother. Shout out to Dr. Detroit. JGB is in the building. I just want people to understand. Don't get caught up in the rah-rah of it all. We know that We know that they are a team that was fighting. But the last time I checked, they beat us. And when I lose in something, you can talk your talk. As long as you know I got to play you again. As long as you know. And that, to me, is how I view Micah Parsons' comments. Do not care about the rest of that. Don't. Shout out to Midwest Lion in the building. I see a lot of people popping in. Appreciate y'all showing up. So let's talk draft. Another thing that's coming out right now is this whole thing. All right, this whole thing about AR-15. Now I'm gonna give y'all my personal view on what I see from AR-15 and why I think that not only is this idea. Let me go back. I'm of the belief that if we are stuck at 6, you take a quarterback. I'm gonna say it again. If you are stuck at 6, you can't trade the pick out. You can't you draft a quarterback. Why, Luke? We could have did this last year. No, it's a little bit different. It's totally different. Because at this point, you already need to start building for the future. But I can't go into the season with Studfield as the backup quarterback no more. I can't do it. I can't do it. So let's talk about AR-15. For those who don't know who I'm talking about, in terms of AR-15, a name that you're going to hear a lot of. And you're going to hear a lot of it because Daniel Jeremiah, I think that's his damn name, Daniel Jeremiah decided that he's going to do a mock draft. And it's a mock draft. I can care less. But it's how he came up to the conclusion. So he had the Lions at 6 taking an edge rusher, Miles Murphy. And I'm just like, oh, okay. This is a huge mistake. You're taking another edge rusher? Okay. And then you have at pick 18, that pick that Pro Football Focus wanted you to trade it for T. Higgins. That pick, he had you taking Florida's quarterback, Anthony Richardson. And so here's my view on this. This would be backwards, in my opinion. Because even if you get the quarterback at 18, you can't take the pass rusher at 6, in my opinion. Now, if the pass rusher is a dog, I don't really care. But what's the point of doing that? You still got James Houston. You still got Aiden Hutchinson. You've already invested in this position heavily. You know what I mean? Like you did this. So why are we still adding to that spot like that? And we haven't even got the free agency. So to me, take the quarterback, and then we'll worry about the rest later. But here's my thing with Richardson. Richardson scares the hell out of me. He absolutely scares the hell out of me. And when I tell you, looking at AR-15 as a Lions quarterback, it scares me because we are so hell-bent on trying to find this next mobile talent quarterback. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with you trying to find the next mobile, multi-talented quarterback. But don't force it. Don't take it just because it's a project. Don't do it because it seems like it should make sense. Don't do it. He scares the hell out of me. When I watch him, he can make a pass that make you go, woo. And he can make a pass to make you go, ooh, what the hell was that? I don't see, like if they were saying, if you were to look at this, like if he had came out next year, I don't think he would even be talked about in the terms of a first round pick for real, because people like Caleb Williams and a few other names would be the names. But he scares the shit out of me. And I would not be comfortable drafting him. I wouldn't. I just feel like at this point, to spend this type of capital on a quarterback that you're not taking 6th overall, Doesn't make sense to me. If like Perry Ball said, if Jalen Carter is there, you take him. Not only does it fit a need, it's a dire need, and he's a player. But if he's not there, take a quarterback, just not AR. The idea that he even thought to say, oh, he could fall to the 18th pick. Of course. He just scares me. And if it was me, I'm taking it at 6. Anthony Richardson does not, he scares me. I watch these games and I don't see enough that makes me feel comfortable. And Down 19 says there's no other quarterbacks. Remember what my original statement was in my last video. You trade the pick down and acquire defense. And if you can't trade the pick, you take the quarterback. But the quarterback that I would still take CJ Stroud. And I don't even like Ohio State quarterbacks. I would take CJ Stroud over Anthony Richardson. I would take some of these other names that people don't like over him. I just don't see him because I don't see consistency. Not the way that I feel that you should see in a quarterback, especially with the small mechanics. I don't see it. And I know he's had some games where you're like, man, he lit him on fire, right? But I want you to ask yourself a few questions when evaluating him. The first question I want you to ask yourself is, who is he better than? When you look at who are the proposed top quarterbacks getting ready to come out, ask yourself, who's he's better than? Because I believe his completion percentage is below it's like damn near like 50%. It might be like 55%. Who's he's better than? The second question I want you to ask yourself, because I think this is vital. The second question you need to ask yourself is, how does a guy who wants to run complement our offensive line and our run game? You would have to reinvent the offense, in my opinion, around his playing style. I don't want that. And he scares the shit out of me. Because in games that I watched with him, I thought that, man, look at that pass there. And the very next play, how did you miss that? I could have literally gave that ball to Stevie Wonder and he got it there. How did you miss it? It's just too inconsistent. We need defense. And I'm tired of people mocking pass rushers to us and quarterbacks that don't fit what we're doing. It just don't. And the reality is this. Like Ball say, there's a chance that Hooker in the second or third, I would take Hooker over him. I swear I would take. I don't care about the age. I don't. I think Hooker looks the most ready to rock and roll. Richardson looks like the most ready to switch to receiver. When he runs, it's electrifying. Woo! Look at him go. But when he can't run, when all the cards are on the table, and he got to throw that thing, you're going to get a lot of spotty passes. You're going to get a lot of spotty passes, and I don't want that for this team. I don't want to have to sit there, did all this work to build this team up, and now we got to completely change the team around to fit his playing style. The quarterback needs to come in and plug and play. The same way Kansas City did with Patrick Mahomes. How the Dallas Cowboys did with Dak Prescott. You get the people and you plug them in. You already do the things. You build the team up and you say, hey, I'm giving you the keys to the car. Don't tear up my Bugatti. But I can't make sense of the Anthony Richardson talk. And I can't take any more messages saying, Luke, what you think about this? I think it's a mistake if they did it. And he should not be on our radar unless you're talking about taking him in a much, much later round. The last person who they was hyped about like this was Malik Willis. And Malik Willis, y'all gonna hate this one, he was better than Anthony Richardson. Oh, Luke, you know what you're talking about. No, he wasn't. No, Malik Willis was not better than yes. Yes. Because at least Malik Willis was more consistent. And all he did for the most part was run. I'm not trying to knock that man. I'm not. But 54. I think I saw Scott got to say he had 54% last season. His career completion percentage, I just looked it up, is 54.7%. You want that guy throwing the ball, trying to get the ball down to Jamison Williams. Come on. And for the people who want to argue that that's not true, Anthony Richardson played 3 seasons, right? And Malik Willis played 4 college seasons and still had a 62.8 completion percentage. Oh, well, we can't go off of that. Fine. Toss it to the trash. Look at the numbers. Oh, but he ran the ball. Don't care. Malik did too. And if you're going to make moves like that, your opportunity came in to win. And the reality is that the people who want this only want it because they're looking at what Lamar Jackson is doing. They're looking at what Jalen Hurts is doing. But those coaches had to change the offense to allow for them to do that. I just don't see the logic in taking the guy who was closer to 50% of his passes being completed than he is to 70. And taking him in the first round at pick 18. And to the people who want to point out the quarterback from Kentucky, Levis, right? You want to talk about him, Will Levis, right? I'm telling you, these people are more consistent than Anthony Richardson. A guy who I think in the right situation would be nice. It's not here in Detroit. Even Will Levis, even him, has a 64.9 completion percentage. You don't make these kind of decisions, in my opinion, and not when you're trying to build a team and get better. You just don't do it. Now, who would I take if I'm stuck at 6? And I would take any. If you're telling me I got to choose between Anthony Richardson, I think the guy that fits Brad Holmes' MO the most is Will Levis. But who would I take if I'm sitting up there and I'm at 6 and Jalen Carter's off the board and I can't trade the pick? That I'm going to do what y'all do and blindly trust the general manager to make the right call and take a quarterback, because we cannot go into this season with another what if at the backup quarterback spot and no chance to build for the future for real. Sky Guy says, and keep in mind, I'm defending Malik here. I hated Malik Willis coming into the draft last year, and I was not interested in him at all. I'm just pointing out to the people. We can talk about this all day. He says, in all honesty, Willis had a 61 completion percentage his last season of college. So he has a better passer in the last season. Everything says that you don't take this project. You just don't take Richardson. I'm sorry. But I will say Anthony Richardson has played better competition. And it shows. it clearly shows. He played better competition, but okay. The guy is, I'm telling you, he can throw 5 passes perfect. Then the next 10 will make you pull all of your body hair out, every single strand. Then he would give you 3 perfect passes, 2 great runs. And the rest of the game, well, you'll be looking up and you'll be a naked mole. I'm promising you. Every time a person sends me a link and say, hey, check this, check them out. And I'm like, look, I'm on like the 7th game. I'm on his 7th game. And I'm still like, no, nothing is popping off to me. Like, seriously. Not a Lion fan, but those Pistons, Champ Ready says, Luke, they don't need another quarterback. Goff is perfect for this team to get to the Super Bowl. Okay, that's fine. Are you prepared to extend him for another 5 years? I'm not. And if you're telling me you're not ready to extend him for 5 more years or 4 more years, then you need another quarterback. And if he's the guy to get you to the Super Bowl, well, that tells me you already know you ain't going to be picking high. Great. What I'm not doing is going into another season with Studfield as my backup and no future plan. Because what's going to happen is you're going to be forced to have to trade up to get a quarterback, and who's going to let you do that? So for me, if you ain't prepared to go ahead and give him another 4-year contract, you ain't ready to extend him beyond what he got for 4 more years, you better draft you a quarterback now. Just in case he's tried to start, tripping, and you got to just go, take your walk of fame to the left. Hendon Hooker is the guy that I will want. He's hurt. You can get him later. But if I'm stuck, this is another wild thing. If I'm stuck, I'm taking Levis, and I'm just going to let him sit, and he fits the exact mold with Brad Holmes' love, and he going to chill. Now, another name that keeps coming up, and then y'all going to hate me for this one too. even my homeboy put it up there. Let me go down there and find his name. I got to go back to him. My homeboy put it up there. Let me get to him. Where he at? Where is it at? My man's Rumble posted. Here we go. Tyree Wilson. No. I can't. I got through. First thing I do is I try to find their best game. I want to see what their best game look like. And I try to see, like, statistically what's their worst game. And I watch that. And then I go and fill in the blanks to see, like, what's going on. On a highlight tape, he looks like a freaking monster. On a highlight tape. A monster. He looks unstoppable. He looks unstoppable on the highlight tape. But you know who else looks unstoppable on the highlight tape? You do. Just think about it, right? If take something as simple as sex. If you want to record yourself having sex, put some epic music to it, and did a bunch of cut scenes and sped it up, you would look like the world's greatest lover. That's Tyree Wilson. Even when I watch him playing the run, I'm like, you just don't want to do it, do you? Get off the block, Tyree. No. I like how he's touching my pads. The run is outside, Tyreek. No, I want to stay right here where it's warm. Do not touch this player. One, you don't need him. And two, he don't look the part. He don't feel the part. And that's a damn good comparison by 1991 Max Stad, because I forgot all about my man Boss Bailey, but that's what it feels like. Very good question, Anthony. Very good question. What music would you use in your video? Oh my God. Oh man. I'm gonna answer this question because you should have put it on there. If it was me, I would do Moments in Love. That's what I would do. Yeah, that'd be my theme, son. Chopped it up. You feel me? But yeah, Tyree Wilson. He's another one. He's another one that we cannot. You got to stay away from dog. I'm sorry, you got to stay away from him. Tyree Wilson got hurt against Kansas and had to have surgery. Why do people want another injured guy early? Because your general manager has made it normal. That's why they was okay with waiting on Jameson Williams to get healthy and felt every reason to fight and argue and fuss with me and claim that he was going to be back by October. When I told him he was going to be back by November, and he didn't come back until December. So that's why. I want Beijing Robinson, beast. Yeah. If he lasts to 18, I'd be shocked. But yeah, I think if you took a running back in the first round, the media would eat you up. I really do. I think they would eat you up. But if you're taking him, then you're telling Jamal Williams bye. And I got ate up for saying I will let him walk if I can upgrade that position. And if people are like, oh, keep Jamal Williams and get rid of Swift. Okay. So I get it. You know, and look, you already getting ate up. Once you said that, look, the heat was already on. It says, yeah, I mean, I can record my highlights of playing a game and it can look really amazing. Doesn't change the fact that I'm a bronze ranked player in that game. I'm just telling people what it is. And now a name that we need to be talking about more often is this man. I love everything about Kancey. Number 8 from Pittsburgh. The things that I look for are always small. I don't care about the highlight stuff. And when somebody first brought him to my attention, I went to the best game statistically, and then I went to the worst game, and I filled it in. And the first thing that stood out to me was this man hand game is ridiculous. The counter moves, the way he, like everybody gave an excuse to our second overall pick with double teams and why he couldn't do. That's not a problem for my man's over here. He don't got that problem. And again, I'm answering any question y'all put in here at this point, but I do got to go and pay some bills and just talk about, you know, Man Hour. Man Hour is who is sponsoring this video and is allowing this to happen, and also are showing so much love for the cause of this. I'm officially their Alliance spokesperson for their channel, where it can be heard on Roku and other stuff like that. So some love the Man Hour and go over to their channel. If you literally type in Man Hour, you'll see their channel. You can hear about other sports and listen to Buck and all the guys over there talk wild. And you know, Combs is probably the wildest because he's a Bears fan, but you know, but enjoy it. So I want to pay those bills. All right. Now, Wilson is boom or bust and get way too much hype for his body of work. I just didn't see a guy that I thought we need to be talking about taking 6th overall. I would have, if he came out in this draft and Aiden Hutchinson was in this draft and I can get Aiden Hutchinson at 6, I'm taking Aiden. And not because he's from Michigan, but because I think he's a better player. Okay, I'm sitting back and I'm watching, but I'm also dispelling the BS that's being put out there to deflect. I didn't even think about that. Crimson said, look, would you use X, gonna give it to you. Salt and pepper. Push it. David Crow says circus music. Maybe. That depends on what kind it is. Might be into some creepy stuff. Gotta be. Can't touch this. Why did I even use that analogy? I didn't expect for y'all to go this ham on it. I didn't expect. Luke gonna have commentators in the background. Yeah. Or Candy by Cameo. Boy, y'all is amazing. Lions Jim said, Luke, trade the first, second round pick for Ramsey. Move back to whoa. Move back to ninth and pick up a third from Carolina. Draft, no. Listen to me. Okay. You don't want Jalen Ramsey. You don't. Jalen Ramsey's probably got 1, 2 years. Let me see how much time on his contract. Jalen Ramsey's contract ain't long, right? Like I'm almost sure that it's not much left, right? So now this whole move of let's bring in Jalen Ramsey and trade him. Why are we doing this? What if it's a second, Luke? No. No, he's not what he used to be. He's not this guy that y'all think he is. And it's just a name. Don't believe the hype. It's just a name. Don't do this, okay? Just think about this for a second, okay? You're giving up a second round pick. The guy got what? 1, 2. He got 3 years left on his contract, right? You give him this second round pick for him, right? And I'm telling you that you're doing that for a guy who has selfish tendencies, who has discipline issues in my opinion, where he's not always playing discipline. And I'm just telling you that he's more myth than legend at this point, because he is literally not the same player he used to be. Like, he think he's already arrived. They've already crowned him the best in the game. He's the best on match. Like, no, he is just not there. When you go back and you look at last year, even the year they won the Super Bowl, you look at how a lot of these things, he was looking to the referees for flags. And I don't want to give up draft capital for this guy to get 3 years out of them, and I'm in a draft full of corners. I got a free agency that got Sean Murphy Buttons in it, who's from Michigan. Detroit, to be exact. Also was in, I think it was Bloomfield Hills? It's one of them Bloomfields. I can't remember. There's still a Byron Murphy out there. Oh, but Luke, they're going to be cheaper, and it don't cost you no draft capital, and you can still go out and get your young guy. But to just decide that we should no, I don't see the same guy that came into the league and was bullying you on the sideline out of Jalen Ramsey. I don't see it. And then the first thing he's going to do after having a good season is ask for more money. I'm good. He says, I'm greedy. I'm just saying, you got options. Don 19 says, at 6, take Devon Witherspoon if you're moving him to safety. I'm not trying to throw in controversy. I'm just telling you, if you're willing to move him to safety, great. I know that Anthony does not like this idea. I'm sorry, brother. But when I watch him, he plays like a safety. And to me, he's not my number one corner. Porter Jr. is. So I'm not, if you tell me you get him to play safety, cool. He's so physical at the line of scrimmage that in the NFL, there's going to be a lot of holding and pass interference calls. Mark my words, whether we get him or not. Mark my words. He's so physical at the line of scrimmage. I'm watching him 5-10 yards down the field, and they not throwing a flag on him, but he's still beating the brakes off of him. And I love it, but he's a safety. I'm just saying. I can't do it. Now, Torrance, now we talking, because we got to finish the line. Time to move on from Big V. And we need to get somebody who could be complimentary, and he could be. So yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you adding linemen. Torrance, though, I need to watch more games. I can't give you a full evaluation of him. I only seen 2 games so far, and I like what I saw. But again, I'm kind of a snob. Some things that I saw, these little things that I'm like, it's gonna be a problem. So I'm just saying, we gotta be cool with it. I'm gonna drop this the link for you to join me if you want to hop in and talk a little ball for a minute before we jump up out of here. I gotta go. I got a Pokemon matchup. My son done messed up. So I'm gonna tell y'all what happens. I'm gonna tell you how this goes down. When your kids embarrass you in their favorite game, you wait till they go to sleep, and you go full Super Saiyan mode on learning how to play this damn game. I can't wait to play him in this battle. Watch how this go down. And I went all first gen Pokemon that I'm about to go ham on him with. Just wait for it. All right? I'm going to teach him why my man's Pikachu is the OG. I'm tired of getting bullied in games. The little boy beating me and everything. Tried to play him in Street Fighters, got destroyed. I'm like, I've been playing this for years. How am I losing? Damn, kids got too much time on their hands. That's all it is. Link is in there, man. I got to call Patty. Hey, you should have saw him talking trash, man. Good grief. Ain't have no chill. No chill at all when he beat me. He was like, oh my God, Dad, you suck. I was like, what? In the mix says the best DBs hold. Then don't come here with that. Because they going to call it here. They may not call it where you at. If you in New England, they may not call it. You on Green Bay, they may not call it. They going to call it here. You got my first guest, Don 19, who already done told me, I got bullied in Pokemon. I did. I did. I got bullied.
What's going on, Luke?
What's going on, brother? It's been a long time. How are you?
Man, I'm good. Just chilling, man. Waiting for free agency. Waiting for the draft and all that.
Okay, what you got for me then? Talk to me.
First question. How much money you think Brad gonna spend in free agency?
Not much. He's still gonna make smart. He's still gonna make smart moves, but you're gonna get one big name player. You're gonna get one name. I think he had to give you one name though, right?
I mean, like you talking about like a big superstar name?
I mean, not necessarily a big superstar name, but like a name. You know how some people just like the name. So what I've been doing is I've been posting on Twitter, on Instagram, and on the YouTube channel. I've been posting free agent spotlights of people who fits what he's been doing in terms of, contract that I think he can get on more of the fair side and this grit, leadership attitude. And, I'm including it all in there. And so, if he can get a name, depending on who the name is, I think he will do it. But if the price starts to get so crazy and he's sitting up here looking at this draft and he got capital, he's probably looking at that like, hey, if you let's say, for example, if he got a chance to get, say, like in this case, Dr. Detroit says Deron Payne. And if say Deron Payne wants,
I think he gets franchise tag.
I think he is too. But let's say he wants like $100-something million deal. Well, kick rocks.
Right.
Right. So I mean, I don't see too much change in there.
Right.
I mean, and again,
go ahead.
I would say, and again, keep in mind that when you look at what he's doing, he's trying to build the best team possible while maintaining money to re-sign people who prove themselves. So a lot of these free agents ain't finna get no money like that. That's why I'm naming people who fit what we're doing and who I think can slide under the radar. Drew Tranquil is the guy we need. He's the guy that I spotlighted. I know he's had some history of injuries and stuff like that, but guess what? He's probably the best coverage linebacker out there. I put another name out there, and everybody instantly shut it down because they didn't know it, which was Jonas Griffin. Griffin. How you say his name? Griff. I'm probably botching it, but People that I'm like, dude, we need an inside linebacker, and he was really good for the Broncos. Oh, no, okay, he was really good.
So you're looking at young people like around the 20s, not like 30s.
I don't think the 30s matter if they're not asking for big money.
Right.
But if they're asking for big money, the 30s matter. I think when it comes to the 20s, he's looking at it like, let me get people who want to prove themselves and earn their keep. But in my opinion, $10 million for DJ Chark was a lot. And that was before he stepped on the field. I was like, damn, for 1 year? Man. Okay. Now he want to act like he really want to be here. Well, show me that when you sign a 2 or 3 year deal and you're not making $10 million a season. And then you can tell me you want to be here. And I just think people need to look at free agency a little bit different. We don't have a GM who wants to try to buy his championship. He wants to win it.
Right.
And that's a difference. What else you got for me?
When looking at this draft is kind of weak in the linebacker position. I wish.
Why is that? What do you mean? Why you say it's weak at that position?
Really, two potential: Drew Sanders and what's the dude from Clemson, Simpson. I mean, it's not really much at the linebacker position. So at 6, I just threw out Devin Witherspoon name. You could go Gonzalez as well.
Yes, he.
Okay,
so Gonzalez to me, I'm just gonna put it out. Gonzalez to me looked like somebody that would get punked in the NFL. I saw a few games where I'm like, yo, who's the receiver? And I couldn't figure out who the receiver was, but they looked like they wanted it more than Gonzalez. But that's another story. Not saying that he's bad. I wouldn't dismiss him, like that. But I know the interceptions and stuff, but
that 6 spot gonna be interesting, bro.
But I'm just saying when you're looking at the 6 spot, we're not thinking linebacker at the 6 spot because if you're telling me that it's not a strong draft to take a linebacker at the 6 spot, sure. But if you're telling me that it's a weak linebacking class, I don't know if I agree with that. In fact, I saw an article talking about what is the Lions' biggest needs and what is the strongest parts of the draft, and I was gonna get into all that today, but then I thought about it like, for what? Like at the end of the day, the Lions got to get the pick right. But I like a lot of the linebackers in this draft. In fact, I think you can actually take about, if you look at the top 10 linebackers, right? Take the top 10 inside linebackers. I'd be happy with any one of them. That don't sound like a weak class to me.
Okay, I might have to do more research now.
You know what I'm saying? Like that sounds more different. I see you in the back, brother. I got you.
All right, I'm gonna just head out. I just want to talk football real quick with my guy.
Hey man, I'm happy you did. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I was gonna do a little short show, so I can go. Right. I gotta go down here with vengeance with this Pokemon. He got Pokemon I never even heard of. I'm like, man, what is that, bro? what is that?
You said Pikachu ain't gonna win you no battle no more. Man,
but nah, listen, I don't know, but I got all the classics, all the ones that I can remember. Like I got like Charizard and Pikachu, and what's the grass one?
Was it Bulbasaur?
Bulbasaur, that thing, whatever that is. Yeah, I got that too. Now, granted, he got some stuff I never even seen, but I suggest that you know what? Sometimes it's like Novocaine. Give it time, it'll always work. That's all I'm saying, man. Happy to have you holler at me, man. Hopefully, I can get you back on soon, and have some fun with it, man. Appreciate it, bro.
All right, appreciate it, brother.
All right. Now we're gonna bring in my man Lions Rumble 81, who I'm pretty sure ain't happy I went in on Mr. Wilson like that. I just don't see it. I'm sorry, brother. But how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you,
man? Man, you got this Kimbo Slice. I'm gonna beat you up and get out the way of Puff Daddy when he walking through. Look going on. I'm loving it, man. What's good?
That's my lion, man. Yeah, man. I haven't shaved it since we won. So
I ain't mad at you, bro. I ain't mad at you. What's going on, friendly neighborhood Lions man? What you got for the show, bro?
Yeah, man. I'm with you on all aspects of defense, man. We need to really address that side. I think we can pick up some offensive players in the free agent, especially with the emergence of Ben Johnson. I think there's going to be players that are going to want to come here because he's shown that he uses every position on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, look at Penei Sewell. He had a reception last year, and he's just creative. So I think as far as the offensive side, I think we can probably squeeze in one or two good, decent free agents who are going to want to come in here and really benefit on this, diverse playbook that Ben Johnson has came up with. So I really feel like we need to address the defensive side. We know our linebackers aren't the greatest. We know our secondary is still Swiss cheese. So I think this year's draft definitely needs to focus on that side of the ball. We need some, like you say, we need some dogs over there. We need some players like Sauce Gardner, who the other teams don't even want to throw to. We need that kind of presence on that side of the field or on that side of the ball, and really think we need to focus on that this year for sure.
Yeah, I'm just Curt say Rumbles are our third tight end. We
eat.
Hey, let me answer this really quick. Easy does it says, what quarterback should the Lions have gotten if not for drafting J-Mo? You don't when you trade up 20 spots, you don't take a hurt receiver, you take a player who can help you. And they should have just took Devin Lloyd. Take somebody who can help you now. You needed linebacker help bad. It was so bad that they didn't even, if you notice on Hard Knocks, they rarely talked about that linebacker room. They focused on Rodriguez. And they did that strategically because there was no other linebackers to talk about.
Yeah.
Just being honest.
Yeah.
All right. So that's why I see. And again, when I look at the Lions, if you were to look at the Lions right now and you were to try to figure out what were their biggest needs, what were they? It's all up the middle. Guard in the middle, D tackle in the middle, inside linebackers in the middle, safety in the middle. It's all up the middle. We should not be investing in things that don't improve the middle of our squad. It has to be up the middle. And so when you look at it, that's what they're asking. That's what they're pointing out. Like, it's all needs to be done in the middle.
Agreed.
I mean, you can't get no better. Down 19 said, can y'all give me some linebackers to look at? I can. I got a few that I like. That people gonna probably say, oh, well, he, again, keep in mind, I'm not. If you're talking about as a 6th overall pick, I can't tell you that person because I don't think there's a linebacker worthy of it. And obviously, everybody, their mom's going to say, like, oh, you could take, like, Noah Sewell. I mean, you could. But I'm looking at inside guys. And so I'm looking at people, that I believe can be had without using a first-round pick. Because apparently we're not going to use one on a linebacker, which is wow to me.
Yeah, me too. I like Henry out of Alabama.
So wow.
Right. I think Henry out of Alabama is probably close to he's probably close to professional ready.
I like this guy. I'm probably gonna botch his name. Dylan Henley. He's an inside linebacker for Washington State.
Okay. Okay.
I know I botched this dude first name, and I hope he's not listening. But if he is, I just want you to know I still love you. I got a condition, and it's not your fault. Okay, just want to put that out there. But I like that linebacker from TCU too, D. Winters. He's another guy that I remember watching him. Although he did, I know that championship game, wasn't the most. It wasn't what people thought it was, but I'm just gonna put it out there, like, okay. And then I like Cam Jones, inside linebacker out of Indiana. So you can check out some of them people, because I'm looking at people that fits what I think he's doing. Let me bring in a few other people. Start off with my man Anthony from Roar Lions UK. Looking at he's sporting a beautiful bald head, got the whole setup going. Looks like he want to go to sleep, but yet he can't help himself. welcome to the show, good brother. What's going on?
Hey Luke, how you doing? I just had to come on to compliment Rumble on that beard. I wish I could grow something that looked as good. When mine grows out, it just looks like, I've just gone through a load of moss and it's like attached to my face.
I appreciate that.
That is clean, man. So
hey, man.
Hey, look, he out here putting in work. He is out here single-handedly putting in work. Now shout out to my man Curt. He says Winters killed us single-handedly in the semis. Listen, it stood out to me. I was like, oh snap, we really doing this. And to me, when you jump off the screen, you get my attention. He was so solid, right? I want y'all to understand something. If y'all don't know who I'm talking about, just go back to the Michigan game. Don't do nothing else. You know they say don't pass go and collect $200. I don't need you to do that. I need you to go back to that game and just look at number 13. Tell me he wasn't damn near every play it felt like. Tell me it didn't feel like that. Go back and just look at it. Again, these are people that nobody is really talking about because they're looking at the names. Go back and look at them. That dude was doing so much work that I was like, bro, who is this guy? Like to the point where I was like, yo. And to be honest with you, don't be surprised if he's a Lion.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be surprised because he fits what they are. Y'all all fell in love with Rodrigo because he's so fast. He can get This guy can play inside, outside, and just look at the Michigan game. He had like 7 solo tackles in the first half, probably. like he was that good. That's what made him stand out to me. He really caught my attention. Like I seen TCU games and I was like, oh, okay, but I wasn't really paying attention like I was when they played Michigan. I felt like Michigan couldn't do much of nothing because that man was the problem. And I think I could be wrong. Didn't he get an interception or something? Or he forced an interception when he blitzed or something like that? I just remember 13 and saying to myself, like, bro, who in the hell is this guy? So I just want to put that out there. I got one more guy in the back I got to bring in. He's a regular. He always comes in. For some reason, he was drinking a Capri Sun like the guy off of he had the Capri Sun like the guy off of Kick-Ass. My man Chris is
It's a freaking.
Oh, okay. Listen. I'm not judging. I just thought I saw a Capri Sun. I'm sorry. It says Winter is currently ranked in the 170s. That's his consensus, not any single database. That's cool. I don't care where you rank at. He a player. I like him. I don't, a very good D-line can make average cornerbacks and linebackers look better than they are. Trade up to secure Carter and go from there. Now, this is a very interesting thing because
I find that interesting, yes.
The trade up for Jalen Carter. I'm just going to go through and we're going to start this off with you, Crimson. Would you do it? Would you trade up for Jalen Carter?
Depends on what I'm paying Arizona for, because that's who I'm assuming I'm trading up with. If you're telling me I'm trading like to move up a few spots, like a second and a third,
no,
I probably would have. Probably would. I probably have to trade second, third, futures. Probably like a future second or something like that, or to move up. What was it, like 3 spots? Because the problem is, I don't know what the heck Arizona is going to pick in this draft. It could be Anderson, could be Carter. I see a lot of them taking Wilson. I could see them taking Wilson. He's the type of guy that they would take. I would do it, but it really depends on what the hell I'm paying.
I'm just saying.
I really like Carter, and really the defense is just missing that run stuffer.
Okay. I'm going to go over to you, Anthony. I mean, would you trade up for Jalen Carter?
No.
Oh, Shocked.
Wouldn't even consider it. We need our picks for this team. We've got plenty of holes, upgrades that need addressing, and I'll spend my 5 picks doing that. There are other. He is a great player. Don't get me wrong. I'd snap him up if he was there at 6. I absolutely would, but price is going to be high. Even if it's Cardinals. Cardinals only have 5 picks in this draft, so if they're trading back, they'll want to amass picks. They'll not do it just for nothing. The price will be too high. I'm not paying it. There's other guys I can go and get and develop at D tackle and still get my 5 picks. So no.
Yeah, I mean, okay. I'm saving mine for last. I'm gonna go down to you, Rumble. Would you trade up for Jalen Carter?
No, I'm kind of with Anthony on this one. Yeah, he's a great player, Apopka, Florida kid. But we're still invested with certain players on this team that have not, like, we don't know what's up with Levi. He might not play anymore. Who knows? But I'm with Anthony. Let's use our picks this year. Like, let's use them. Let's not trade up. Let's not trade back. Let's use our picks. Let's be smart with this. And hopefully we can trade some of those past picks that we kind of have moved away from. And hopefully we can get, something for those guys. But yeah, no, I'm cool with our 5 picks. I think we should use them and use them wisely.
And as much as I love me some Jalen Carter, I have to, second, third, and fourth, what y'all said in terms of a no. This is not a team that has the ability to do this, y'all. We got too many things that need to be fixed, and it's up the middle and mostly on defense. And you can pretty much upgrade damn near all the positions on defense, minus maybe Aiden Hutchinson and Tracy Walker, but even they might be upgradable people, right? So like, I don't. No, it's going to cost you so much to move up. You're essentially you might as well just give up if you're doing that, in my opinion. I just don't think it's worth the move to trade up. And as Steve-O said, who said that the people want to trade back that's in the top 5? Who wants to trade back out of that? I'm cool with where we are. I'm happy where we are. I think that we are in a good position to be able to trade back because most of these people who want those quarterbacks who can slide down should be able to give us something to allow us to trade back. I know everybody want to keep talking about the Panthers, but the last time we had to deal with the Panthers, the Lions didn't take it. Remember, it was all rumored that the Lions had a chance to get this, and everybody said this would have been a better deal than what they took, and blah, 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 fiddlesticks. I don't care. I feel like where you are gives you the best chance to move back and save it. I'm not trading up for Jalen Carter, not because I hate him, not because I think that he can't play, not because I don't think that we can't use him, but because the price to move up is too high, and I don't believe that he is going to be worth doing that and mortgaging your opportunity to add more talent. I don't see it. So
I do agree with you on this one. I do love the position we're at. I love that Stroud applied for the draft because this gives us so many opportunities. Like, I pray to God, like, my dream trade partner, and it's going to sound weird, I honestly God hope the Bucks want to trade up with us just because I want to accrue even more draft capital for the future. Just because if I actually want to get a QB for the future, perfect. I've got the draft capital. I'll go with this future. And if I want to go get a quarterback in the next year's draft, I'll use that capital to move up in the draft. I just don't see anything in this draft that would say, okay, I want to get this quarterback X because none of these guys really impress me. Hooker is good, but
that's the music. That's the music I will play when I make my highlight tape. That's the music I will play when I make my highlight tape.
Good.
But down 19. When you think about it, when you think about it, that ringtone really did sound like a porno, like music, like boing, boing, boing. Like it seemed like it was. I'm gonna leave it alone.
I'll hit up Steve for you, Luke. He'll find some good tracks for you. You know what his knowledge is like.
Listen, Steve is a hip hop historian. I have yet to stump him with something in hip hop. Like he's so far ahead of me when it comes to hip hop. He knows rappers. I'm like, who the hell is that? So yeah. If anybody can find me something, it's definitely him. Don19 has a question for us. He says, who is the one player or position you don't want the Lions to take? Let's start off with you, Rumble. Who's the one person you don't want them to take?
I don't want to position-wise, tight end. We don't need any more tight ends. Let's leave that position alone. I'm cool with anybody on the defensive side of the ball because it's obviously a need. We're still working out the kinks on that side. So
you good with Brock Wright and what's Anthony gonna have me say this dude Shane Zylstra? Zylstra. There we go. I knew I can do it. Nailed it. All right. So you good with them as your tight ends?
Yeah, we also have Houston, I believe. Or what was the other tight end we picked up? Man, see, now you got me drawing a blank.
No, I mean the fact that you draw the blank lets me know that he's not really here. That's what I'm just saying. So
no, he did good. He did good, man.
I mean, did he? Good. But did he though?
I
mean, did
he served his purpose?
He sure did. He took up a roster spot. He did that. Dumbest freaking draft pick of that year. I'm just gonna tell the truth. Anthony
Mitchell. Thank you, Don. Mitchell. James Mitchell.
Don and Perry. Don't help him with this BS, man.
Mitchell, my bad, man.
That stupid draft
we
pick.
We picked up
man.
Houston too, so I was James Mitchell. My bad, boys.
He better show something this year. Anthony, what's the one position or player that you don't want them to draft?
Players, it's a toss between Tyree Wilson and Siaki Ika. They're both big busts in waiting. I don't want to go either way. I don't want to go anywhere near either of them. I don't want to pick Edge at 6. So I don't want Edge at 6. I don't want Tyree Wilson. There we go.
Yeah, it's I'm with you. It's Edge. Anything Edge this, Edge that, I can't do it. What's going on, Detroit D? Yeah, I can't do Edge at all. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense for you to take that approach to take a person like that when in reality you don't need it. Like, when are we gonna just let Houston play full time? You still got Julian Okorie. You still got other people there who are supposed to be able to do their jobs. And I'm just like, okay, let it flow. Let it do its thing. And so off rip, I'm just not sure that that's the position we should be looking at. Let me hit a few more questions before I bounce up out of here. Let me see. My man Curt says, I have a question that I want discussed. Any tape I see Javon Dexter, I see a guy that is the last guy out of his stance at the snap. Why the infatuation from the Lions? Okay, all right. Is the Lions infatuated or is Lions media and fans infatuated? We got to clarify that because I believe there is a difference when it comes to him. The easiest answer is most of them watch highlights, right? They watched the highlights and they fell in love and said, look at this guy. He's big. He can move. Oh, my God. He's so aggressive. And like you, I agree. He was the last out of his stance. A lot of the things that he did were people accidentally just running into him. Like, seriously. I didn't really see him, like, bully nobody. Like in terms of like, I think they went against Kentucky and, the other people on the outside were getting home, but he was just beneficiary or the benefactor of being able to say, hey, I'm in the vicinity. Right. And it works out great. I get it. My issue is what's the difference between him and Greg Gaines or the difference between him and Kalin Saunders? Well, the answer is simple. He's younger, but ultimately the infatuation just comes down to the fact that he's new, he's younger, and some people like the upside. I'm more of scratch the upside. What about now? Upside's good, but what about now? there are so many other things that come out of it, and I think it's the easy answer is highlights. Anthony, who clearly got a bad addiction, I've been trying to get him to get into the meetings to rid himself of this addiction, but he can't help himself. What do you think? Why do you think that's this effectuation with Jerron Dexter? I think it's number 9 for Florida too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, people get hooked up on traits. I mean, in his case, he's what, 6'5", he big dude.
Huh? Let's look up how big he is. Hold on.
I think he's 6'5", if I
he's
remember right.
6'6", 312, according to ESPN.
That's why. It's the same with Ika. Everyone goes, oh, he's 350 pounds. He's a run stuff in no stack. Yeah, but when you actually watch him play, it's not that good. And it's the same with these. People get hooked up on stuff like that. You've got to really dig down. And with the defensive tackle class this year, there's so few actual starters out there. Most of these guys are draft and develop guys this season going forward. And, Dexter, it's just because he's tall. I've watched, and I'm not that impressed either. He wasn't on my top 10. I don't think he was close to, I don't even think he'd be in a top 15 if I had that. There's a lot more in front of him who've got better things for me. So, I don't know. I just think it's, when people see 6'6", they're like, oh my God, that's amazing. Because you see all the drafts, and it's like, people draft Zach Kuntz, the old Dominion tight end. He's 6'8", and they're like, oh my God, he's 6'8". Let's draft him.
But they did the same thing with Breeze, and I'm like, it's not a lot of tape out there, but I think Breeze is at least quicker off the line of scrimmage than Dexter.
Yeah, and you got to watch how they play against good opposition. Florida were not good this year. And he didn't have as much impact on games as he probably should have if he wants to be a big round pick in the draft. They got bullied a lot. It was a bad side. So, yeah, I think it's just sometimes traits. And like you say, highlight packages can make anybody look good. So, it's like a lot of others, he's got a lot to work on.
You know what? You can literally make a highlight reel of you like skinning a deer, and it will look epic. Like anything you make a highlight reel of is meant to do just that. Highlight the absolute best of the best of you. And it won't show those things. But yeah, there is a strange love affair with certain people, but I think it's media based and I think it's fan based. That's just me. I think the Pittsburgh number 8 from Pittsburgh, Kansas is better. What the hell do I know? I don't get the effectuation. And yeah, I just don't. The interception he had last year, that's in his highlights. The ball was in the quarterback's hand before his hand left the ground. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Easy Does It says, who we fighting in free agency, that's a secondary vet. I hope it's Byron Murphy and Sean Murphy Buttons. But, since you brought that up, I will bring up this, which I was going to say, but who gives a fuck? We here now. In my opinion, talking about who we going to fight for, we need to start to look at that question a little bit different. Who's worth fighting for here? Who's worth tagging? Because for me, I see no one. I see no one on this free agency list that's worth tagging. Who are you franchise tagging? Like I'm not being funny, but who is the guy that you look at when you look at this list and you say, "Oh, we got to franchise tag that one"? Who is it? These are the things that I'm trying to get you people to understand. Like we talking about fighting in free agency, we got to start here. You got a very small list of players that you may want to bring back. You may want to bring back Brock Wright, right? You may want to bring back John Kominski, right?
I'll bring back Williams.
But knowing Brad Holmes, he gonna bring back Will Harris, right? He'll do this. But what I'm saying is, when you look at this, who do you don't even want to franchise tag these players. So
I'll bring back Williams.
Okay, so let's say you bring back Williams, right? But so you bring him back. What are you willing to pay him?
I'll give him $2 more mil. I'll make it $5 mil for 3 years.
Okay, so you give him $5 mil for 3 years?
Yep.
Okay, Anthony, you cool with that deal?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm the running back class is amazing in the draft this year, so I don't want to pay too much, but at the same time, Jamal has done a really good job for us, and I want to reward him as well. But it's just about finding where the line is. I think 4 is fine. I think 5 or above is a bit. I'm not sure. I don't know if it'd be for 3 years either, but I give him 2, maybe 2 at like 4.
Okay.
There we go. I'm
just saying, before we get into this whole let's fight in free agency, we got to figure out who we need to. I mean, I don't see a person worthy of being franchise tagged in this group, and I don't see a person that I'm super hyped to just decide to be like, hey, I want to bring this guy back. Like I'm okay if he walks, but at $5 million a season, and I just broke Barry Sanders' touchdown record, that seems a little cheap in my opinion. And I feel like he would say something like that. Just saying. Perry Ball says, is there a player with a high upside and good floor? Ooh, Anthony. We talking draft, obviously.
I mean, high upside and good floor. Jordan Battle at safety. I think he's got a high floor. I'm not sure the upside's massively high, but if you're looking for a good floor and a decent upside, he's the one who comes to mind straight away. I think he's a pretty safe pick. In the bad things, who else would I have on there who's got a safe floor? I don't know. He would be the one. Battle will probably be the one.
Okay. Is there a person that you've seen, Rumble, that you feel have a good upside and decent floor?
Yeah, I'm probably going to go with another Lion with this one, Joey Porter Jr. I think he has I think the sky's the limit for this guy, this kid, just simply because his dad or his, he's got some NFL pedigree in his background, and he's the son of, former Steeler linebacker. So, and that guy played with freaking Palomalu and some of these other greats. So I think that kid is going to be one of those players that we're if we don't draft him, we're going to want to wish we drafted him.
Okay. My guy is going to come as a complete shock. Somebody that we don't usually hear his name, but it's Steve Avila. I'm probably pronouncing his last name wrong. But another TTU guy, I'm just telling y'all, even though they lost, people stood out to me. I'm just gonna put it out there. But this guy, I think, also fits what we do. And on top of what I saw, in terms of his ceiling and his floor, the guy can play tackle, guard, and center. You get a 3-for-1 deal here. Because I watched this when they went against Michigan. He was at, I want to say, left guard. I want to say he was at. And it was a big run that went off the left guard. And I was like, God, look at the hole over there. I was impressed and fell in love instantly. And then when they went into the championship game, I was like, okay, they didn't win, but he still did his part. So he's a guy that stands out to me. Let me see if any other questions in here. Make sure I don't miss nobody, man. I'm really trying to hit on everybody. Fourth or later, in my opinion, quarterback. Let's see. Oh, wait. Damn it. Luke just drafted the whole TCU team. It's not that. Listen, I just like 13, which was Winters, because he stood out. And I liked the Avila because he stood out. So I take people who stood out. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. Let me see. Why would Jamal take that when he can get a bag in free agency? That's a good point. I just broke Barry Sanders' touchdown record. That's my whole argument.
Yeah, but what other O-line, what other team with an O-line like ours is going to pay him that? I don't know. I just think he's home, and I think he wants to play here. And to Anthony's point, I can't sign him for more than I can't drop the bag on him. If he gives us 2-3 years, I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
Hey, what can I see? What can I see?
I mean,
Cap Ice Cole says, I'm bringing back like 5 of the free agent players, but there's no need to tag anyone. Okay. My man Don is in rare form today. He says, I can make a highlight tape of Luke's son whooping him in Pokemon. He'd be so excited, man. I swear. And then when he lose, you see, he gives me this look of like, in 2 days, I'll be back. Like it's just it's no quit in him. So my youngest one, he's so biased. He just rooted his big brother on. And it's like, yo, what's good? The Blue Boogeyman. I haven't seen that in a while. What's going on, brother? Luke, T. Higgins can kick rocks. Anthony, I saw y'all kind of touch on this a little bit. Is that not the craziest thing, though, that trade?
It's atrocious. Why would you give up a first and a fourth for a wide receiver 2 and then have to pay him as well? As you succinctly put, Luke, we're getting similar production out of Amon-Ra St. Brown, who is a 4th round pick, and then it's like, okay, so I've given you a 4th round pick, which I could probably get the same guy now, and I'm giving you a first, and I'm giving him a bag. It's just not happening. It doesn't. It's garbage. It's clickbait season. People like to wind up on stuff like this. It's just for clicks. It's designed to rile up a fan base and get them. They know it's a load of bull, but they know people will interact with it. And even I do. I'm a sucker for it. I tell them how stupid they are, and that's what they want. So.
Anthony over there being a knight. You idiot. Ed W. He says, panel, is it necessary to draft a quarterback of the future this year? If so, what round consider all the needs? Anthony, I'm gonna lead this. I'm gonna start off with you. I know where my viewpoint of this is at, but I'm intrigued to hear yours.
Oh, you're just gonna throw me out to the wolves, are you?
I'm putting you out there first.
That's what you're doing.
But you know what though? If anybody could come back with the wolf on his head, it's you. I believe it. I believe it cold-heartedly.
Jon Snow right there.
Is it necessary? See, the way I'm looking at it right now is if I'm going to draft a quarterback this year, I'm going to do it later in the draft, and I'm going to do it because I want to develop a very good backup for Jared Goff. Because I think that there is no quarterback in this draft who you will draft here who will see the field next season if Jared Goff plays well. This is his year to have at it. And quite frankly, I kind of want to keep it that way. The whole stuff with Richardson, I really like him. I really do. But I'm just so conflicted on it. And, we had all this pressure to draft Willis last year. Good job we didn't. He's going to be a fraud. He's a fraud. I'd do it later in the draft. And I would take a high upside guy and try and develop him. Someone like Lindsey Scott Jr. I've said it plenty of times at this point. He is very high upside. I'll put him in the team. I'll develop him. I'll get him through the pipeline. And then if it doesn't work next year, I'll go out and get my guy. No, I'm not with it this year. I'm kind of, I kind of want to look at the backup and then we'll look at Goff again in 12 months.
It's Nate Stubblefield.
It's a tough one because you've got to balance. I know you need future for the team, and there is, and then you've got to balance it against needs for the team now because the NFC North is weak, very weak. And if you draft right this offseason, you put those 5 top 80 picks and slam dunk on 3 of them, and the other 2 are all right. We're going to be the best team in the division next season because we've got that much young talent in there that we can mix with some good experience, hopefully out of free agency, that I kind of want to get on top and then start looking in the future. I mean, Goff's playing the way he is. He's playing all right at the minute. I don't think it's going to be an issue, but is it the right guy? There is part of me that does want to draft Richardson because I think in 2 years' time, he could potentially be one of the best quarterbacks in the league if you develop him right and you get to it. And it fits in the timeline with Goff. You can still say to Goff, look, you're in no danger right now. This guy ain't starting games. He ain't even close to starting games. So you can still get us to the playoffs and do what you want to do. But personally, I'm just not there yet. I'm still looking later in the draft for a high upside guy.
All right, what say you, Rumble? Is it necessary to draft a quarterback of the future this year?
A backup. I don't necessarily. I can't really call him a man. Yeah, no, I can't really call him a future. I think like a quarterback like the one out of Stanford, Tanner McKee, like your typical prototype drop back passer. I think that's somebody who if he's there later in the rounds, I think that's somebody who's kind of like a Jared Goff 2.0. I know he had a bad team last year, so he was running for his life. The record didn't show it, but the guy's got an elite cannon for an arm, incredible accuracy. I think that guy's. I think he's going to be one of those guys if he sits behind, oh my gosh, Goff and oh my goodness, I can't even think of our guy's name right now.
Who's from Stuffield? The great
no,
Stuffield?
the QB, the QB for the Jags, who's now our QB coach.
Mark Brunell.
Brunell. I think if he can sit behind Brunell and get the cadence down and work on some of his mechanics and is able to see the field more quicker and clean. I think with this O-line, I think we could see him kind of like later in the season if we're doing good. But I think he would be a solid backup. But again, I don't want to draft a QB too high because then you're almost how fragile Goff's confidence in almost is like we're setting up to get rid of you. And I think his confidence is at a high right now. They set up
for 2 years to support him. So if he can't get with the program, then he shouldn't be here. My answer is simple. Yes, you need to necessarily draft your quarterback of the future here, especially if you're stuck at 6. And that's the round you take him at. You take him at 6. You're stuck at 6. Take him at 6. And Goff needs to be put on notice. And the reality is this: if at the 2 years Goff still playing unbelievably out of his mind, great. You trade him and move on with the young guy. I'm sorry. It's time to start to look ahead. We didn't have a problem looking ahead when it came to receiver. Why are we playing games with the quarterback? I don't get it.
But the other thing you have to take into account, Luke, that every year you waste of sitting a guy is a year closer to having to pay him. And this team is going to be in a bind in the future because the way it's drafting, you're going to pay this talent. We've got 4 guys on the offensive line who are getting paid heavily. Oof. You're going to, Sewell will be paid heavily. You got to pay Hutch. You got to pay St. Brown. You got to pay McNeil. You are going to have a logjam of contracts down the way. And if you draft your quarterback now and he doesn't see the field for a few years and you could have done it later, then you're going to put your team in a position where you're going to start shedding talent to pay him. You got to be very careful that you don't waste these deals. Look at the difference, though. Look at the Packers and Jordan Love. Jordan Love, they're going to have to pay him this year, and he ain't played a snap for them of regular game time.
But you know the difference, though? The Packers allow for Aaron Rodgers to punk them, right? That's first. And then two, you can also look at Patrick Mahomes, a guy who, they did a plug and play with. He sat behind Alex Smith. And when you make this move this year, you're just letting it be known to Jared Goff, like, okay, do it again. You had a great season. Do it again. And if he don't, you're able to move on from him, and you get your quarterback of the future. I'm just merely making the point that do you foresee us having a high draft pick to be in position to just get a quarterback that you feel is of high quality? And if the answer is yes, then okay, then I understand it. But if the answer is no, I'm taking them now.
But everyone acts like you have to be at 1, 2, or 3 to get a quarterback.
I'm not saying that.
Mahomes was in double numbers. Deshaun Watson double numbers.
I'm not saying that.
It depends on the class, Luke. It's in situation. It's like, it's better the devil, isn't it? Or is it? Are we going to do better now? Everyone was saying this time last year. Oh, well, not everyone, but we got to take Malik Willis. We may not get the chance again. What if Goff's bad? Yada yada yada. Well, we'd be stuck with a very expensive mistake on our hands at this point if we'd done that. So you've got to be careful. And in Richardson's case, whilst, like I say, I love, he's got all the uncoachable traits that you need. And, if you can do something with him, he will be really great. But if you can't, then in a couple of years, you're going to be like, damn it. I don't have the capital to spend on another pick again. You've got to be as sure as you can be that this is going to be your guy going forward. So If they do the due diligence and they decide it's fine, then I've got no problem with that. Like I say, either way, I'm not fussed. This is just a personal opinion at the minute. I'd rather a stock up and go on a run now. I really would. And I think, looking at next year's draft class, there's going to be a lot of good quarterbacks in there. And I don't think you're going to have to be high to get a good guy. So, it all depends. But you've got to be sure.
Okay, listen. I hear you. No fight out of me. I am just of the belief that the guy that you can get of the future who fits what you like and what you do is right there in your face, and he won't be there at 18. And I just feel like when you look at next year's draft class, I think Caleb Williams might be the cream of the crop, right? Like he might be the one that everybody talks about, that everybody wants, right? But then at that point, you start to look at who are the other people out there. And Spencer Rattler, is he gonna? I mean, what the hell? I don't know. Like, I get what you're saying. Our panel, who is the must-have on your draft board, and who are you willing to pay for in free agency? My must-have is any damn body that's on defense, and who am I willing to pay for in free agency? Anybody on defense. I mean, that was an easier question than I thought. I'm pretty sure we all share that same sentiment. Just get me some damn defensive help. Would you take a chance on Wooten, D tackle from Auburn? I don't believe I watched any tape of him yet, so I can't say. So sorry. Man, there's a lot of running backs I would love to see in Detroit this year's draft. Okay. Shout out to my man Dan Talks Football. Says I'm on vacation in Denver. Let's ride. I can't even. Who told Russell Wilson that was going to be fire? Who told him that? Why did?
I'm waiting for him to do the Morris Day.
Rocco Nation. Let's ride. Like, what the hell? Shout out to Roar of the Lions UK, who got me on board with Detroit not taking a tight end in round 1. Hey, get them together now. Get them together. Yep, it's safe and smart. If you don't hit, it won't hurt. That's bad either. Quarterback late round. Zach Cunningham got cut by Titans today. Okay, well, he might be a cheap. I thought we can get him last year, but hey, I got some other names that I'd rather put money on at this point. But I'm not turning down no linebackers at all. The Denver Broncos are interviewing Matt Patricia. That's not real.
No, it is for DC.
Oh my God!
Are you serious? Here I am thinking that Denver was getting ready to turn a new leaf with Sean Payton, and man, please get Matt Patricia. Get him. He might be good as a DC for them. I don't know, but he couldn't be on none of my team's coaching. There's no way possible. There's no way he could be on my team. When the team is ready to compete, or is golf failed on lead, let's see. McKee was a 5-star coming out of high school. Yeah, okay. Truth Teller says drafting a quarterback later means giving up draft capital later. I just feel like certain positions are harder to find. So I ain't mad at it. How many years was Karen Rodgers holding the clipboard before Favre left town? Minus Karen tendencies, we could use that. It was a while. I want to say it was like 3 seasons. But the difference was they came in and they performed. And so if you perform, then you should be paid.
And Favre was threatening to retire, if I remember rightly. So they assumed they were going to be without him. If Favre had have said, I'm not retiring, I think they don't draft him. So I think circumstance kind of takes them into that one.
So Aaron Rodgers learned from the best. He's holding them hostage now too.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? This is the way it went. It's like Jordan Love ain't going to be a 3rd Hall of Fame quarterback in a row. Sorry.
No. They said the same thing with Lamar Anthony, and his mechanics are still bad. I'm not sure what that's referring to. Oh, it says, Anthony, do you feel Ben Johnson can develop Anthony Richardson?
Well, I guess it would be Brunel's job, would it not be? I think what it is with Richardson is he's very toesy when he throws it. You've got to calm those legs down and get him. No, it's the problem. When he reads the field, he reads the field better than any other quarterback in this draft, probably. You know, he's got everything you need up here mentally. And he doesn't just run all the time like Malik Willis. He only runs when forced to. He's good at evading pressure in the pocket. You've got all those. It's just the inconsistency with his throwing, and it all comes with the movement of his feet. You go and watch his tapes. He's toesy all the time. He's not set properly. So the mechanics need working out. So if someone is good with foot mechanics, and they will get Richardson working quickly. So do I think they will? I mean, it's been a long time since we've developed a QB, but I'm not going to say no. The way this staff has developed players all around the rest of the field, like every position, players are getting better. So I've no reason to doubt that they don't. But, you know, Richardson's got everything you need. Like, he's got all the uncoachable stuff. So no reason to believe they can't. It's just a risk. It is. He could be the best quarterback in the league, or he could be out of the league in 3 years. I think that's kind of the thing with him. And it's not a knock on him. It's just he's played so little college football, and you're betting on traits. That's what happens when you bet on traits. So I would say yes. I think they can, but it's still a really big risk, and he's still a big leap of faith to take that pick.
All right. Well, people, I've reached my almost 2 hour limit. I'm at hour and 51 minutes. I want to get the final thoughts from the people. I appreciate everybody who came through. Luke, I know you kind of young, but I remember the days when a team drafted a quarterback and they always sat for a year or two. The way that they get rushed in today ruins many young quarterbacks. I ain't that goddamn young, but you you right on there. I ain't that young, but you right on. I wish I was, you know. I just had kids late. That's all, real late. But yeah, I do remember when they just hit quarterbacks, and it was important to me. I feel like if you took Anthony Richardson 6th overall, I feel like you might end up with another like Andre Ware situation. Don't do this to yourself. And I'm not saying that he's not a talented quarterback. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that a guy who's a 50% completion percentage, or 54% in this case, career completion percentage, it scares me. And when I watched him, it was a lot of highs and a lot of lows, and that to me, it scares me. It just scares me. So yeah. Please, my man Anthony from Royal Line UK, so I can get you out here, get you some sleep. Give the people your final thoughts and plug the channel if they don't know. Many of them probably do, but just in case somebody new in here and they don't know.
Yeah, like Luke says, you can find us at Royal Lines UK. We're a group of guys over here in Britain who support the Detroit Lions. So if you want to hear a different take on things from a British perspective, then come and give us a try out. As for everyone else, Luke, Rumble, it's a pleasure as always to come on and chat with you. That's why I stay up late and do this. You know, I enjoy doing it. So it's all good fun. And to everyone in the chat, enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great weekend when it comes up. And it's Combine next week, which is always interesting. So gonna be a lot going on draft wise next week. It'll be good fun.
I can't wait till that one guy goes off at the Combine and everybody go, look, you got
yeah, Luke. It's throwing to a receiver with no pressure season. Luke. This is where quarterbacks come good, and this is where coming, bro. And this is where colleges are found to be lying so-and-sos when everyone gets measured and they find out they're all wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so crazy. My man's Lawrence Rumble 81.
Man, yeah, man. Thank you as always for this platform, Anthony. Man, you've been killing it as always. Shout out to you, man. I saw you had I think it was a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Stout, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah.
Listen,
we got
oh my gosh,
I was so annoyed. I was like, yo, I don't even drink, but I'm so upset.
Yeah. It looked incredible.
You'll have to fly over here one time, Rumble. I will take you around all these great beers we have here.
Blow your mind. Beer, okay, y'all gonna hate me for this, but I think beer tastes like an old root, like a ginger root that's covered in. I can't. It don't do nothing for me. I'm like, I don't get it. I just don't.
Oh man.
We've got the good stuff over here.
Oh, okay, my bad. Okay, I didn't know. I didn't know.
Oh man, but Yeah, man. But thank you guys as always. Yeah, and to the chat, man. It's always fun coming on here chopping it up with you guys, man. I can't thank you guys enough for for always, your conversations and your ideas. Like, let's continue to keep this community growing, man. Shout out to you, Anthony. Shout out to you, Luke G. And as always, chat, man. Respect, man. You guys have a great week.
What's going on, D. Williams? He says, hello, welcome to the show. And Kurt Romero says, thank you for the stream tonight. Appreciate it. So did Perry Ball says, thanks, Anthony, Luke, and Rumble for the show tonight. Appreciate it. So did Dr. Detroit. Thanks, man. Got my fix. Yeah, I plan to go live tomorrow. I try everything in my power to finesse my way up out of goddamn overtime on Monday, and it was an epic fail. They was like, yeah, we had 2 call-offs. I was like, are we serious right now? I tried to do it yesterday. And we had a bunch of phone call-ins, and just like, yo. And I had to tell my coworkers, I'm like, y'all could have gave me the memo. I would have called with y'all. Okay, this is ridiculous. But yeah, but today, because I did it the last 2 days, they couldn't do it today. So yay. And hopefully they can't do it tomorrow. So we'll see how that go. You know me, I can't end the show unless it's on a positive note. I want to thank all my people who came up in here, show some love. Ed W, Dr. Detroit, all the people came here, show love. The people who are going to be on the replay game, D-Map Zooms, my man Lion Fan Express. I just, every single person that comes in and do it. Oh, wait, I got to do this one. My man Tom Grassi showed up. My man, listen, this is one of the coolest human beings. Forget just YouTube, forget just the football aspect, just human being. It's very few people that I have an opportunity to honestly say they were heaven sent, and this man has done so many things to show support to people. And so shout out to my man Tom Grassi, who's over there having all kind of fun. He says, if you want to trade us Jameson Williams, we can happily take him off your hands. No, no. We moved up 20 spots, and as much as I didn't want him, he gonna have to stay here today. I'm sorry. And my attitude to it is this: at the end of the day, if you talking about trade us your whole entire draft, like that 1 year when Ricky Williams came out, then you can definitely have him. We will be all right. I think y'all got bigger problems when it comes to the Lions, like Amon-Ra St. Brown, than y'all do for my man Jameson. So, but shout out to you and welcome, man.
And his reaction to us trading up for him is my ringtone. We can't get rid of that. Tom, it's the most amazing reaction in the world. The length of the Tom, by the way, I love it.
He called it though. He was like, I knew it. I freaking knew. He was upset about that when they took Jameson. He was like, he's off the board. I knew it. So he says, I'll give you a sweet 3rd round pick forever. But you know me, I can't end the show unless I do it on a positive note. And today's positive quote comes from Mark Twain. He says, worrying is like paying a debt you don't owe. Ooh, sometimes I think complexity, a complex situation can sometimes confuse a person. If you're going to go out and worry about something that you don't necessarily have control over, allow it to be that you don't have control over it. Don't pay into a debt that's not your debt to pay. See, sometimes you can do things to change your worrying. You can put a foot in front of the other and get moving. You can tell yourself that, hey, I'll be better tomorrow than I was yesterday. You can sometimes go and ask for help. But what you can't do is worry yourself, because worrying is sitting still. Worrying is not allowing you to get the problem solved. Worrying is not building you up. It's simply paying a debt you don't owe. What you do owe is to yourself to understand that this is not for you to control. And it's okay if it's not in your control. It's okay if it didn't go the way you wanted to. It's okay if you didn't get that car or you didn't get that promotion. It's okay, because where one door closes, another opens. When times are on the other side of it that makes it so hard that you're worrying about what you're going to do next, and you're worrying about how you're going to do this, don't worry about it. Get active. Put a pen to pad, write down a plan, start to come up with some kind of strategy. And if in your midst that you still can't come up with a strategy, just sit back and allow whatever's happening to happen and ride the wave. Because sometimes it's better to ride the wave and know what you want than to sit there and do absolutely nothing in a time that requires movement. See, I used to be a worrier. I used to worry about every little thing, my grades. I used to worry about how I'm going to pay this bill and how I'm going to do. And I realized something. The moment I let go, the moment I accepted that I could not fix it, was the same moment that I was able to not only fix it, but stop worrying. So please, don't get to charging your cards and running up debt, trying to pay a debt you don't owe. Simply just understand that you can worry about it. But worrying without action is just that. It's worrying. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, hit the like, subscribe, notification bell. If you don't do nothing else, man, I got to hit you with my favorite line. Don't be no chump. Please do your research, and hopefully I'm not mandated tomorrow so I can be back at it again, because I want to highlight a player that we need to just go ahead and admit is overrated. So stay tuned and keep those notification bells on. And as always, don't be no chump. Please do your research. We are out.